Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to make a video about the things that I regret, decisions or the thoughts that I regret when I first started doing Twitch on a consistent schedule ever since I would say around a year ago. These are some things that I would definitely keep in mind if you're starting out on the community and you start live streaming. It can be a big thing to take on, especially with social media and expanding and streaming and creating a constant schedule, because every person's schedule is definitely different than each other's. So you have to keep that in mind, and whether your viewers will come and the anxiety that comes with all of that. So here are tips I would recommend if you are starting out Twitch streaming. First of all, I wouldn't expect too much out of this. Remember that every skill does require time and effort, so Twitch, certainly you aren't guaranteed a ticket to success, but I believe if you do put in the time and you do put in the effort, people will come towards you and gravitate towards you when you do post content that is relatable or interesting or funny, and just be yourself. I think that could definitely help you out. It's not expecting so much, and developing it as a skill. Remember, it is a skill to be taken lightly and to practice over and over again. You're gonna get better over time. You're gonna get better equipment, better camera, better lighting, better everything. You're gonna create a better YouTube channel, better art for the YouTube channel, better backgrounds, so keep that in mind. And some followers will stay and some followers will go. Actually, recently, for me personally, for my Twitch channel, I have had some followers that have unfollowed, and I've had new people that have came in and taken the spot as followers. This is going to happen a lot, especially in the beginning. You might get discouraged because you do not have a big follower base and you're trying to build that base, you're trying to build that foundation. But I believe, like I said before, if you do continue, you will build that following. You just have to keep on going at it so much that you gain followers more than you lose them. You get those people to stick around rather than those people that will unfollow you. Luckily, I have not ran into a scenario where I've had more unfollowers than followers that have followed me on Twitch. Another mistake, a really big mistake that I made when I first started out doing Twitch, was I did not create a YouTube channel. I thought I could just put it off, put it on for another day. Everyone else was doing it, but I thought that isn't for me. I could never do it. I don't think it would be a good idea. It takes too much time, too much effort. I edit videos. I think of ideas. What if I ran out of ideas? But honestly, those are my own limiting excuses that kind of kept me from creating this channel, and I'm glad that I did start it, because now I get to do things that I've always wanted to try, and this YouTube channel is pushing me to try new skills, to try new ideas that I never probably would have thought of. So I'm glad that I did start this channel. I would think of it that way if you are having a hard time coming up with ideas. What are things that you've always wanted to do, or what are things that you have learned about Twitch, about gaming, about equipment, about setup, about lighting that you could teach everyone else that would greatly benefit them? I think that has benefited me the most. Thinking about what I could do to benefit others, with especially tech setup and Twitch and the algorithm and building a friendly audience, that has helped me to build a YouTube channel that I have the confidence to continue to push out content. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is devoting time to different platforms. If you spend your time on TikTok, your time on YouTube, your time on Twitter, for example, it's going to take probably a decent amount of time. I would say 2 hours, an hour for each to post something, edit it, and then finally upload it. For me, for YouTube videos so far, it takes me around 2 hours to upload and edit. And so think about that when you do get to social media. I think you should have a variety of social media platforms that you post on and create content on, but I don't think you should have so many to where you can't post anything at all and you're just spending too much time trying to come up with ideas for one for the other. I think you should have a max of up to two social media, possibly even 3 if you really have the time, but I think 2 is definitely enough. I don't think you should have more than 2 social media platforms that you would post on consistently to build the audience outside of Twitch, because Twitch, you have to remember, that's already gaining you followers. It's just that social media is going to help you gain those followers and help them stick by and bring in new audience members that maybe don't even know what Twitch is. There are plenty of people that don't know what Twitch is yet, even though it's been around for a very long time and it's became very populated over the years. It's hard not to think about the other streamers that you are going against, even though now this is a platform you do want to build friendships, but you are going against millions and thousands of other people across the world that are streaming on Twitch. So you have to keep in mind that each person is putting an effort, each person is doing the same thing as you. And so remember them. I remember them not necessarily, you want to remember them as your friends, but you also want to remember them as adversaries that you could learn from and take tips from. I've learned plenty of things from the people that I watch on YouTube that do stream live. I'm learning things every single day. especially in your tips, like rating others, even if it may seem insignificant, especially since you're a smaller streamer. Rating others can help you build an audience, and you may feel like you're giving away an audience because you are giving your followers to the other person, but that will give you attention from their followers to come to your channel. I think if you give back kindness, I think it definitely can come back in kindness as well. Another thing that the things that I did do, this is going to move on to the other side, the things that I did do, I think I did right when I started out, was I was accustomed to talking to myself on Twitch. I did talk to myself a lot. Believe me, it's going to feel nerve-wracking, it's going to feel nervous. Even making YouTube videos now is kind of still nerve-wracking for me because I've never done it before. I never talked personally face-to-face to the camera like this. But you will get used to it, and you'll get used to it over time, but it does take practice. Like I said, this is a skill to build up, so you need to take the time to practice this skill. Don't expect too much of yourself, but definitely at least try. At least give it a shot. It's better than not starting a Twitch account at all and putting it off until you don't create one and it's already too late. You don't want that to happen. And keep in mind, this may not be for everyone. If you start a Twitch account and you find out 6 months, 8 months down the line, you may not want to be doing this for another 2 years. That's totally okay. You do not have to create on this platform or other platforms for several years. You can stop. I had this reality when I actually stopped doing Twitch. I quit it once because I wasn't liking when I was streaming, and I didn't try to explore my opportunities of what I could stream, like art, which I do now. That's what I mostly stream besides video games, and I also stream playing instruments as well and cooking, so I stream a whole tons of stuff. But that's what I'm saying, you have to explore. Do not feel like you're restricted down to one certain niche. You can explore other niches. In the beginning, you were building your audience, so this is a perfect time to explore other niches. You do not need to worry about too much about building an audience in the beginning. I would say now if you're thousands of followers down the line, whenever you do switch a niche, it may affect the viewer count and the amount of viewers that you get. But in general, I think if you are starting out, I think you should definitely explore. Even if you do have a lot, I think you should explore too. But I think you could maybe add in 1 or 2 days of exploring instead of constantly exploring cooking, music, video games, other video games that you may want to try out every single day. I think if you have thousands of followers or a bigger following, I think you should spend 1 or 2 days exploring those possibilities and maybe even out of stream exploring that, because that way you're not putting that content on the stream. Because people can unfollow, like I said, they can unfollow all the time. You cannot get mad about that. I know I get mad about it too, but it is one of the biggest things I'm trying to get rid of because it bothers me still today. Another thing that I am happy I did was I did ask my followers for ideas. This is a really, really big, this is probably one of my biggest tips that I could recommend to anyone that's starting out, is even to people that have been on Twitch for around thousands of followers, if you have not done this, like this is literally gonna get you so many more followers, so much more variety. Ask your followers for ideas, whether it be music, whether it be cooking, whether it be video games ideas. I get tons and tons of ideas from people. Almost every single stream of what I should do. For example, we did a cooking stream, and now we're doing music. Someone else recommended it, and I've always wanted to practice guitar. There's so many things that you could do, so ask your followers for any ideas that they may give you. Now, you don't want to get so saturated to where you don't have any time for yourself to do what you actually want to stream, or the game that you want to stream, or the game that you want to beat, or a recipe that you want to make. But you do want to have a few days where you can take off and just put those days for the followers, because that will bring people back and they'll see that you're actually paying attention to what they want, not only what you want. You want a balance of what you want and what they want. If you don't have a balance, then no one's going to be happy and you're not going to gain a bigger following. And remember, another good tip that I did have, or another thing that I did do that I'm really proud of, is that I do try to remember people's interests, hobbies, occupations, where they're from. If you do this, your followers are going to be really, really happy, and they're going to come back to your stream because you do remember them. Now, if you don't, it's totally okay. If you don't remember, in the beginning, I would recommend creating a list, but as this goes on, your follower and your community is going to build, so it's definitely going to be harder. It might seem like a shaking rock that's going to break, but I certainly recommend doing it in the beginning. I would say as you gain a bigger following, I wouldn't feel so pressured to remember them as more, but in the beginning, I think it is definitely helpful, because some of the people that come to your channel in the beginning, they may become your moderators that can help you with your channel, and they may become the moderators that will stay in the future and fix the chat, do what they need to do, give you ideas for new video ideas that may work with you professionally if this becomes a career opportunity that you would like to make in the future. So remember those things. Try your best to remember those things. I luckily can remember them to a good amount of degree. I do forget some of my followers' interests, some things, where they're from sometimes, but I can pretty much keep a pretty good eye so far on what they like and remember what they do for the job and where they live. But another good tip that I recommend for yourself. Other than that, that is all the tips that I can recommend and things that I did that I am glad that I did, and the things that I would have wished I would have done sooner for Twitch that could have brought in a bigger following. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe down below. I usually post once every single week. I usually upload videos every single Sunday. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please take these tips into account. I guarantee these can help you so much. They've helped me a lot, and it's made it more fun of an experience to be on Twitch. It makes me realize why I did want to start a Twitch community. Thank you. Bye-bye.